Welcome to the finale.
Oh
We're
god!
scanning the Olympic cluster for a brand new entity. There it is. The void, the infinity void.
That's too great, huh?
So here's a cool
That's
thing.
Too great.
Turns out we weren't the only ones who got the address of the big final point
I almost
because
forgot.
everyone's already parked their ships.
I like how there are fucking
Oh, it's been
there's
forever.
ship ports for this thing.
Yeah, and they all just parked. But here we are.
For those wondering, no, Samus did not change her car alarm in between games.
Never.
I told her she should, but she just aimed the cannon at me and said, "The car alarm stays on."
It's like the frickin' Goofy clip. I love the never. And then the wave hits him anyway.
You know, by the time this is uploaded, I'm gonna have a Samus cosplay anyways, so it do be like that.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
are you like actually pulling together the whole Varia suit look or just Zero Suit?
Zero Suit. Because it was a deal between. Well, I've said I would do that particularly because I promised Doug I would.
Dog.
Alright, so here's some lore. No weapon could defeat Goria. Or Goria, whatever. Okay, let's see what else.
No,
It's
no
all in
weapon
weird
can
orders.
defeat Goria, and then fuck.
So wait, but hang on. So then rather than destroy Goria, they planned to contain it in here. Go ahead, Matt.
No weapon can destroy Goria, except for Silex's fucking overpowered sniper.
Yep. But hey, so let's see, so we are on we're in a weird intergalactic prison known as the Oubliette in the Infinity Void. But there's one other important thing. There's a seal sphere that was deployed, and the creature was ensnared within this sphere. Let's see, with Goria bound, we had to act quickly. Go on. Where's that other piece of lore? Is it this one?
Go on.
So they trapped. Apparently, though, trapping it was not enough because it was so powerful. So, security measures were needed for so great a threat. So this is the part that's basically explaining that if you don't do this ending properly, I guess I'll talk about right now. With what's about to happen, I'm just going to go and get the last E-Tank. If you don't tackle this final boss, penultimate final boss, in a certain way, the game ends with the last security measure being a nuclear self-destruct with, they were actually smart, 0 countdown. It just goes off, will immediately detonate, and everybody, including Samus, dies. The end. Straight up, that's the ending.
Dang.
And then the rest of the Metroid series never happened.
Wait,
Yeah.
we couldn't contain it, so we decided we couldn't kill it, so we decided to kill it.
Well, it's like, it's a lot. I guess the idea is that they thought that they could, like, preserve this void and the Olympic system, but now they have to basically take the whole thing down with it. It's a long story. So basically,
So they
if you want to
activated
avoid
the
that
Halo
bad...
rings.
Yes, so if you want to avoid that bad ending, make sure you do what I'm going to do in this final confrontation.
Who's going to play?
Because as soon as we land down there, the frickin' idiots are already shooting the seal sphere.
My gun is the right one.
Mine is the right one. And then Goria arrives.
Fools, none of you got it right.
Idiots, all of you. Natural order.
Dummies, 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 dummies!
So it does two things. One, it drains them of a lot of their energy, including their weapons, so that the developers didn't have to design new weapons, and is now going to be using them power charged at us, a hunter of hunters. Goria.
Oh boy, final showdown.
Right away, run away right now.
And honestly, from the looks of it, it looks like a hunter from Halo.
Yellow.
Now, step 1.
It's time to.
Run
It's
the
time
fuck
for.
away.
It's time for. Yep. And it's now time for us to reenact the Olympic prophecy that I've been scanning on all the doors. So it went from yellow to green. Then the green thing went to like some orange fire, which is going to be the magmol. We gotta head over here. Also, no, I don't know how you're supposed to piece this together unless you like scanned every single thing either. Come on. There we go, orange. Which went into the blue smoke, which we know is a Silex's thing.
So it has to be in this order.
Correct. If you mess it up, you can just start it over again. Just all that matters, James, is just make sure you've entered in this password before dealing the final blow to Goria. Purple, and finally, red.
And of course, Silex's weapon is the one to do it in.
No, that was Trace's weapon. Translating telepathic
sorry,
insight.
sorry,
Spectral
Trace, I
sequence
meant-
initiated.
Sorry,
You're fine.
I mixed up their names.
It's okay. So the photon thing is approaching cascade threshold, which basically means translation. You done it. You're in for the best ending now. So now it's time
Initiate
to explain how to
photon
fight
cannons.
Goria.
Cool.
So the way Gorilla works is that there are 2 different colors to note, James. Number 1 is the color of his cannon. They will tell you what weapon he's about to be using against you.
Okay.
The second thing to note is what color his armor is, because that is going to tell you how much, what weapon is going to be the only thing that can deal damage to his core once you blow up both of his hockey pads. Not hockey pads, his football pads, his football shoulders. So thus is the big gameplay loop of beating this boss. Is each of his shoulder pads have their own health bar. I wish Samus worked this way actually. Each of them have their own health bar. Once you destroy both of them, he will flip back around and reveal that soul sphere thing. But again, depending on what color his armor was, it will explain which. That will be your clue as to what weapon type can only be used to deal damage.
Also, I'm sorry. This just feels like padding.
Da, da, da.
Not gonna lie, this is reminding me of Metal Madness from Sonic Heroes.
Kind of.
I can see that a little bit, like with all the color coding stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to take damage from the ice for now, so it's just
People are just
But-
ignoring the puns now.
Good, because
it
isn't quite
happens.
complete yet.
Also, just avoid that red tentacle, because otherwise he'll grab you and start doing a lot of damage and swinging you around. And beyond that, just move to avoid the telepathic throwing crap at your face.
So,
And,
do you ever wonder what's inside Samus's shoulder pads?
I always assumed
Because they're way too big to just hold on to.
That my guess is that's actually I legitimately have a guess that's where all the missiles go.
If not then maybe
I-
maybe that's where the air tanks are.
You'll never
Maybe,
know my secret.
but you know what? No, I could see where Matt's talking from. That way, because I could. Oh, jeez, he grabbed me.
Let go of me!
Yeah. Because I could actually picture that where it's like they're like a freaking bandolier belt or whatever, and they're spiraled so that as it's loaded into the arm cannon, they unroll one at a time, kind of thing.
Probably.
I could see that.
If not that, they could also just be the exterior when she ever goes into Morph Ball.
Oh, that. Yeah, I still will never quite understand how that works. If it's just magic or she's just.
I mean,
that
technically,
flexible.
if you think about it, it changes depending on 2D and 3D. In 2D, she does pull up. In 3D, it is like magic.
A ball of energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well. So beyond that's the loop. Now you get the gist. Just again, just constantly be strafing because he'll just be constantly using the weapons against you. I guess to some extent, just like with any other multiplayer shooter game, you could assume that the campaign is just a grand tutorial for the online combat.
I mean,
yeah.
sometimes
there is still some good love put into the
You
lore.
can
Yes,
can argue that with a lot of first-person shooters, but then like think of Halo, where yes, everybody thinks of the multiplayer and talks about it all the time. But if you think about it, I watched this documentary. The multiplayer actually was an afterthought.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that
an
was.
afterthought.
I think.
It
I mean, that was.
wasn't
That was.
The game wasn't designed around the multiplayer. The multiplayer was designed just to beat it.
Right, because
Also, I got really lucky and was able to use the freaking Imperialist there, which dealt a lot of damage. So one more phase and we should have it.
nice.
You
But
really
yeah, no,
zoned in
that.
on it there.
Da-da-da. Go ahead, James.
But yeah, no, like that was like back in the days when like console shooters weren't really all that hyper focused on the multiplayer stuff. They want to just go for like whatever story they could tell.
Yeah.
But then once the
Yeah.
Xbox Live came to the picture, that entire focus shifted completely.
I would still argue that Halo, at least for the first 3 games in Infinite, had a really big focus on the single player mode. Oh, and Reach.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And
There was something there, I guess. I know Splatoon. You could definitely say the Splatoon campaign is.
Splatoon's campaign is
primarily
definitely
tutorial.
Yeah, that's definitely.
So looking forward to the third game.
Oh yeah, no, I am too.
Mm-hmm.
Rise, Babbles,
What
rise.
do you-
Do you play Splatoon, Doug?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it
Sammy,
looks
you
like
play
it's blue.
Splatoon?
No. I am the one that
Duly
doesn't.
noted. I'll keep that
Get
bad
up close and
opinion.
personal.
What do you mean it
Gosh,
didn't
just
interest
die.
me?
That's a wrong opinion.
It's not a wrong opinion. It's just like
Silence.
Ow.
Trying to get back.
Come on.
For,
Oh, come on.
For what? I don't like.
And-
I'm not always into shooters or platformers. You know.
Making a dumb joke.
Well, you're playing the wrong. You're in
is
the
a
wrong
wrong
sci-fi
opinion,
series if you
Sam.
don't like either of those, Sammy. There we go.
This is a church of platformers you are currently in, young Missy.
Well, also to say that you don't like
Metroid.
shooters and platformers, like this is not the right series to be watching
Well,
if you're not
okay.
into either
What
of
I
those.
mean is, I'm not good with platformers or
Oh.
shooters.
Also, hello.
That's fair. But I at least appreciate your wanting to learn a bit more about Sammy here, Samus.
Learn
there's
about
Goria's true
myself? I
form, and
wish.
thus starts the true final boss. But we have a problem. None of our weapons now. It's so powerful, it can't handle it.
I am
Crap.
true
Whoa.
God. Fall down before me, bitch.
No.
Oh.
Literally
Oh,
fall.
hey.
That'd be
Oh.
nice.
No.
Goria's defensive capability has increased
no.
dramatically. No weapons currently equipped in my power suit are capable of penetrating armor, but there is an intense gamma radiation at the very bottom.
Oh.
It's time for a Metroid Prime staple. It's the Deus Ex Machina beam,
Oh boy.
the Omega Cannon.
Yay!
This is one of the last things that the Olympic Society had built, but none of them could properly wield it without dying themselves. But we got a cool power suit.
Meanwhile, the Chozo are over here going, "We invented it, bitch."
Probably, actually. I would love if this was just on loan, but yep, there we go. This is how we're going to deal damage now. It's just about climbing ourselves back up so we can face it one-on-one. And all in all, again, I think Prime Hunters has a different feel to it than even a normal Metroid Prime game, but again, at the very least, I don't feel like it's... I don't feel like it overstayed its welcome. I just wish it had more bosses to... because, like... Again, this game proves that even with a short run time, if you don't have enough variety to keep it coming, it can still feel a little long.
Yeah. And that's pretty much my sentiment on the whole thing. It's like I'm already someone who vastly prefers the 2D games over the Prime games. So this game more or less being around to mostly nix the exploration favor, just more like multiplayer shoot 'em up sort of design doesn't really appeal to me all that much.
No, I just realized this, and I find coincidental. Prime technically means first, or like original, and yet when people talk about Metroid Prime, they don't mean original Metroid series, they mean the spin-off.
And one more shot. Got him.
And it's down.
And Goria is no more.
We've
And
cured
now we shall write off
gonorrhea.
this.
Oh no.
We shall write off this one off once and for all.
That explains why I was burning on fire. And oh, we gotta run.
Oh shit!
Let's get the fuck out
Down
of
to
here.
bail.
And immediately all the hunters like, okay, we're out. Screw this.
Audi 5000.
And we managed to escape with our lives. Woo!
Luckily.
Nice.
Epic.
And in a weird hallucinogenic memory, the Olympic civilization gives us one last we thank you, Samus Aran.
Also, we'll make mention that this model Zero Suit Sam is actually pretty interesting in its own way.
Yeah.
It is definitely
very
neat. Like,
interesting.
and someone noted that it was interesting that like the ship is the model from 2 and her suit is the model from 1.
Not
like
quite.
her
The shoulder
body
pads
suit.
aren't quite as big.
It was something like, I guess it was them trying to retroactively show how the technology was advancing because yeah, in all the Prime games, her ship looks slightly different each time.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise that was Prime Hunters, and again, I don't mind it. It was a neat enough little it was a neat enough experiment that I didn't think was going to work as well as it did on the DS, but it did. Hype, what did you have any other thoughts on what you saw, Hype?
Not really. It looks like a perfectly serviceable 3D Metroid game for the DS, which is something I never thought would happen on the DS. I appreciate what it tries to do, but I don't know if it really convinced me to try it like the other.
Okay. Doug, did you have any thoughts on this entry in the Prime stuff?
Well, this is my first time looking at the game in full, actually, so this was quite interesting to see everything about this game.
All right.
But
Yeah.
this is actually a pretty solid one even for a DS title, in my opinion. I would definitely give it a shot at some point, but just whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, again, I would love to see if it's possible to have this be played with slightly better controls, because the DS had some really odd control things. And no, before anyone asks, I'm not doing freaking Boost Ball. I'm not doing any other of those weird spin-offs.
Why would you do Blast Ball, considering the 3DS is more or less...
7 deaths and a battle time, 8 minutes, 36 seconds against Korea, and I killed 59 of the either Hunters or the Guardian thingies, with only 36% completion, because I don't care about the lore. Beyond what I don't care about the lore beyond what I need to know to understand the plot. But there you go.
That's that, everybody.
That was Prime Hunters, a game I would wholeheartedly recommend over Star Fox Command any day of the week.
Sad thing is, I don't know if I could really give it that kind of credit.
Damn.
Dang.
All right, so yeah. So with that said, that now suitably fills my Metroid quota for the year, depending on how things go. So James, the ball.
Are we going to ask the rest of the people what they thought?
Well, I already asked Sam. I mean, she already told her thing about how the platforming shooter thing, and James already was describing his thing during the boss.
Okay, that's not completely fair. Again, it's just not in my interest. That doesn't mean I'm not interested in in Metroid. That's a little
right, and that I get that. I'm just saying, like, yeah. Again, this is like how to put it. Not to say that there was no substance, but that this game is not the meatiest of the games in the series to have like a big opinion on.
It's the most, save for pinball, it's easily the most stopgap feeling of all the Metroid games.
It's the most, it's there. But It's not bad. Still better story than Other M. So, with that said, James, it's now your turn. I've been doing too much Metroid. I've been 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna go grease myself up for Super.
You got this, bub.
On that note, we'll see you all next time.
Thank you all for joining!